What is going on, everybody? We are back, episode 2. Had a little bit of a break, some Thanksgiving stuff. Hope everybody had an amazing holiday break. I hope everybody was safe, happy, healthy, doing whatever you're doing, whether you're out drinking beers like Jim Cross or whether you're carving up turkeys with your family. I hope you had an amazing, amazing time. But Jim Cross, baby, I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. How was your Thanksgiving?
Man, it was good up until you told people I was out here drinking beers. Boy, I'm drinking water, keeping it healthy. Don't even try to play me like that. But no, it was good, man. And I'm glad to be back because tonight, hey, we got my boys. And let me tell you, Mike, there's something special about these two cats. First of all, one of them is my son's favorite player all time. He will never be beaten. As a matter of fact, today I tried to sway my man to be an LSU fan. He said no, Kamren James to the day he dies. And then
100%.
Josh Hatcher falls in that boat too.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. Now, I will say this. First of all, my guy out there, Jackson, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you staying strong, not going to LSU. Don't let dad corrupt you. Don't let dad corrupt you. But we got a couple of national champions in the cut today. Friends or foes is the segment that we have continued to talk about this season. Super excited to bring them on. Josh Hatcher and Kamren James. Welcome to the show, my guys.
What's going on?
So I got to ask both of you off the rip. Kamren, I'm going to ask you first because I saw your face first. So I'm sorry I have to put you on blast.
All right.
National Championship 2022. You have these feelings going on currently right now. Has any of it worn off yet? And are you done celebrating?
Well, I think it won't ever completely wear off just because, that was the first title for Mississippi State. And it's something that I know me as a fan growing up, I've always dreamed of playing at Mississippi State and dreamed of that moment. So I know that it's going to stay with me forever. But also going into last year, we didn't have the best season. So I say the celebration kind of like wore down a little bit just because we kind of went from being super high to super low. And now it's just kind of the memories that are with me.
Without a doubt. Josh, how about you?
Kind of like he said, it's obviously something that will stay with me forever. But, going into the season last year, I just want to have an open mind and, just go into it, giving my all into that season and just focusing on that. So, it's behind me now, but it's still something I'll remember forever.
Without a doubt. And something I wanted to throw in, just a little bit of spice to it. I wanted to ask both of you individually, of course, on air appropriate. You guys don't got to spill all the tea, but favorite celebration moment you guys have had that maybe the fans haven't seen so far, whether that be interactions with the fans or with your teammates, celebrations. Was there anything specific you guys did that, you'll always remember to celebrate?
For me, it was the parade in Starkville when we got back. I think there was as many fans at that parade, and the stadium was as full during that as it was ever, during the year.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the coolest experiences, I've had, getting to drive through the entire, downtown Starkville and through the Cotton District with all of our students and people hanging out and then the fans waiting at the stadium. So that was probably my favorite part.
Without a doubt. Josh,
Yeah,
I do. My bad, Josh. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's what came to mind would be that parade.
Definitely. Now, Josh, I do want to ask you because it was a big year in Kamren for you as well. But Josh, you were drafted in the 10th round by the Texans. Where were you at when this
Texans? Man, what sport you in?
The Texas Rangers. I'm sorry. You know what? I was reading the write-up. I'm dyslexic. I don't want to hear that. But you're drafted by the Rangers, and it has to be a surreal feeling. Obviously, it's something that you were leading up to all year long, and everybody, you have these expectations and you know where you're going, but you never know until you know. So for you, where were you? Who was in your circle, and what was that experience truly like?
Yeah, so I was up here at my place in Kennesaw where me and my girlfriend live, and then my dad came up. But like you said, you don't know until that moment actually comes. So, I didn't want a bunch of people coming here or whatever, and then it not happen or something like that. But yeah, I was at my place up here in Kennesaw, and funny story because they called me that morning and told me that they were going to take me somewhere between the 7th through the 10th round. So, and they were going to take me and another senior sign. So the 9th round rolls around, and they took a senior shortstop from Georgia State right down the road that I played against all year, who he's actually one of my really good friends now. And so, I was kind of upset. I was pretty pissed off, and I was like, well, they just took another senior position player, so they're not going to take me in the 10th round. So I go outside. My girlfriend comes out there, and I'm pretty pissed off. And then she's calming me down and everything, just reminding me that I did everything I could do. I had the best season I've ever had. It's not in my hands anymore. It's in the Lord's hands, and whatever happens, happens. And then so I'm sitting on the porch, me and her just still talking, and then my dad walks out. He like peeks his head out the door, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "The Texas Rangers just drafted you in the 10th round." And I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, it's kind of a surreal moment."
Without a doubt. And for you, there's so many different stories I always hear of guys who, really just reach out to you. Is there anybody throughout the organization that reaches out to you at that time? Or what does that really look like? Because everybody knows NFL, there's a phone call in everybody's hand just waiting to get it. You found out from your pops. How quick was it till you started to hear from the actual organization?
It was really quick. Obviously, the MLB draft happened so fast. There's only a limited amount of time, and especially later in the draft like that. Like the time between the picks shorten up. So my dad comes out there and tells me, and then I would say like not even a minute later, I'm getting a couple calls from like the area scouts and some of the other guys up in the office. And so, it was a pretty quick turnaround from right when I saw it.
Without a doubt. And Kamren, same question for you. Obviously, 16th round by the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not gonna let my dyslexia.
Don't butcher that one, man.
Listen, it happened. You know what?
Ears.
You're just making fun of people at this point. You hear this, Josh? This is what I deal with every week. But Kamren, same question for you. Who were you around? What was that atmosphere like? How impatient or patient were you to kind of just let the chips fall where they may?
Yeah. So like Hatch, I had my girlfriend there. I was at my parents' house in South Haven, and my grandparents were there. I had a couple friends over, but I was getting a little impatient just because I didn't expect to go as late as I did, to be honest with you. And then I think day 2, I got a call kind of the same deal as Hatch, thinking I might go, late day 2, somewhere between 7 to 10. And then that didn't happen for me. And then day 3 came around, and of course, I'm a little upset with going as late as I did, just because I felt like I was a little better than where I got taken. But then I just the day 3 keeps going, it keeps getting later and later, and then I'm starting to get a little nervous, and then all of a sudden I get a call from my agent, and he's the one that the team didn't call me at that time. My agent called me and told me that the Rays were going to draft me. And and I was upstairs just kind of being by myself, because I was aggravated and, upset about it. And while I was on the phone with my agent, I heard everybody downstairs kind of, get real excited and start yelling and stuff. So, and then I think my dad or somebody yelled up the stairs, "Hey, you just got picked by the Rays, blah, 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 blah." And I'm on the phone with my agent. So it was definitely a cool moment. It was almost like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders, just because it began to get so late, and I was nervous that maybe I won't get picked at all.
Without a doubt.
So, Mike, man, I'm going to come clean to Kamren on this show. Greg James, his father, told me to never tell him this story, and I'm going to tell him anyway. So Kamren will tell you that last year something weird happened, because I was in Omaha when, he hit the bomb in his first at bat, so I was there for the national championship. So you can't say I'm bad luck, but for whatever reason, last year, if I attended a Mississippi State game, Kamren had a bad game at the plate. And it got to the point where Greg told me, you know what, you're not invited anymore, man, because you know what, you're bad luck. So anyway, on draft day, day 3, I'm in the gym, got the headphones in, listening to pick by pick, just waiting for Kamren's name to come. Well, Brady Tiger, the Arkansas pitcher, was in there working out at the same time. So I take my headphones out to have a conversation with Brady. Kamren is the very first pick after I took my headphones out. I'm that bad luck, Mike. I was costing Cam round by round, just listening. And I don't know what to say. All I can do is apologize to Kamren. Greg nailed it. I'm bad luck for the cat. He said, first thing he said to me the other day was like, hey, we're going to go down to Florida and watch Kamren play. I was like, heck no. I'll never watch Kamren play in person again. I'll watch on TV, dude. Like,
I do think that's so crazy, though, that both of you guys actually missed that moment because you were somewhere else, kind of just, not in your own head, but kind of just like feeling those emotions. It's so crazy.
It's normal because Cameron's brother, Keegan, missed it. He was at the gym working out when he got told. He talked about it on our show.
That's a Kobe Bryant story right there. That's a super villain origin story.
Said he was just hitting it and then got a phone call. But so, boys, this show is obviously called Friends or Foes for a reason. So we're going to get into a little foe action and get off that whole national championship run. And I'm gonna start with you, Cam, because I think you'll answer this a certain way. Who has better bombs, you or Hatch?
Who looks better doing it? Probably me. But I think Hatch might hit him a little harder and a little further than I do.
Hatch, you agree with that?
Yeah, like when he hits him, he knows he gets him. But me, so he'll hit him and he'll drop the bat immediately and kind of walk a little bit. But I'm hitting mine and I'm kind of jogging a little bit. You know what I'm
Hatch
saying?
is going for two.
When he hits it, he knows.
Well, Hatch, you once came on our show and told us that you were going to bat flip against LSU and you didn't hit the home run and get the bat. Even though it was against my team, that's what I really wanted to see. I wanted to see the epic bat flip that was promised. So I'm going to need one now that you're at the pros, and I know you'll probably get beaned for it, but I need some sort of epic bat flip to make up for that. But y'all both hit amazing bombs. Obviously, I got to see you do it live a couple times this year in the postseason. For Kennesaw down there in the regional. So that was really cool. But, when we had y'all on in off the bench, y'all talked about the Fall World Series. And Hatch, we talked about when you hit a home run and you were rounding the bases and you told Cam how you liked your steak cooked. If y'all are to play each other in the minors or in the pros, however it plays out, are we going to get that same kind of trash talk?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. I need to hear about it. I want to know. Now it ain't about steak, so I got to know what's got to be said.
I don't know what will be said. It'll just something that comes up on the spot. I'll have to say it, but I'll always have to talk a little bit to Hatch.
And Mike, he says it like that casually, but Cam ain't no trash talker. He's full of it.
I'll probably make some kind of sarcastic remark and just say something stupid.
He gives you that Hollywood answer. He's got the pretty boy look. You can't hack it like that.
But we had an in off the bench meet and greet, and I'll tell you what, it was the first time I ever heard Cam talk trash, Mike. So the Ole Miss boys, their table had a very small line. However, Kamren and Landon had a line wrapped around thing, and they were running out of baseballs. And so my man looks over the Ole Miss boys and says, hey, we're running out of balls. Y'all don't seem to be using yours. Can we borrow? Can we have some? And I was like,
that ain't right, bro. That ain't right.
Well, they got me back by winning it last year, so I'd say that was
y'all did it first. Y'all did it first.
Y'all did it better. Y'all did it better, and that's
they did it better. Hey, if we're gonna be real, hey, I don't think I got too many Ole Miss people tuned in. The road that Mississippi State had to win a national championship was harder, starting with Notre Dame in the Super Regionals. But we ain't gonna go there and break that open. But let's talk about some of your teammates. I'm gonna start with you, Hatch. If you could pick one pitcher from that Mississippi State baseball team that you could take yard here in the pros, who is it?
Landon Sims, without a doubt.
Landon Sims. You want that heater and you just want to stroke it, huh?
Yeah, I'm cheating.
Are you gonna hit it further than what was his name, Cavadas from Notre Dame?
Oh, absolutely not. That ball's still going.
Cam, I can't be Landon for you. I know it ain't Landon.
I know. Well, now I got to think of somebody else because I was gonna say that.
Everybody want to take Landon yard, man. That's y'all's boy.
So I'll be different. Since I got to think of a new one, I'll say Will Bednar just because he's another first round pick, really really good pitcher. And he's another guy that I could pick at if I hit it off of him. I let him know it.
Bragging rights if you take either of them yard, no doubt.
Hey, I got another one though from Mississippi State. Keegan James.
Taking
I
Cam's brother yard.
I didn't get to play with Keegan, so I couldn't say that.
Without a
Yeah, dude, that's an epic moment, and I would hope to be with your dad during that moment if Kamren took Keegan Yard. I don't even know how he would react. I don't know how any father reacts. Like that, you always see those parents who have the sons. Always think about like the Manning brothers when they went head to head in football. Like how are you supposed to react? I don't even know.
I think it's a toxic environment no matter what. I think the dinner table is a very messed up place at the end of the night, no matter what. But Cam, I want to ask you something because you said something a little interesting. It's a little off topic. You said you would want to go after him because he's another first round pick. Now, obviously, drafted in the 16th round, but winning a national championship, emotions are up and down everywhere. Do you have a chip over your shoulder right now, Cam? Are you ready to prove the world?
Yeah, 100%.
I like that. I like that.
But I think just you don't make your money in the draft, you make it in the big leagues. So just trying to get the big leagues and show them that they should have paid me more money, and that I'm better than where I got drafted.
Without a doubt. I mean, Cam's out here. You know what? I think we could just publicly say it, right, Cam? Like we can, after the show, we'll have a big monitor come up and say Cam's coming for every first round draft pick drafted in the 2022 MLB draft. He remembers. You know what? Matter of fact, I already know what his jersey number is. How many teams passed up on him?
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and tell you something, Mike. While we talking about first-round draft picks, you know how I said he hit a home run in his first at-bat at Omaha? Mm-hmm. It was against Jack Leiter.
Crazy.
99 mile-an-hour fastball down the pipe. Stroke.
Yeah, I think I took 2 first-rounders deep that year, actually.
There it is. So, hey, he's already started, Mike.
He's on him. But we mentioned Leiter. We mentioned a couple other guys, but I want to talk to the more important Ranger, not a Texan, a Ranger. I want to get that corrected. I do apologize because I tagged everybody from Texas in this show. So I bet everybody just flipped shit when I said that. But Josh, I want to talk to you, kind of just get an understanding of what's been going on, where you've been. I know you were playing a little bit of single A ball, but at this current moment, what are you really doing with the organization right now? What do you have planned going into the winter?
Right now, actually this week, I just started my 5th week of my off-season programs and stuff. Weightlifting wise, and then I've been hitting for, I think I started about 3.5 weeks ago. But it's just getting up and my routine every single day and going to get my lift in, and then getting my hitting routines in and getting all that stuff going. I'm having we have Zoom meetings here and there with our hitting coaches, stuff like that, make sure we're working on what we need to work on, talk about some things, if stuff's feeling good, if it's not feeling good, adjust some stuff here and there. But that's where I'm at right now.
Without a doubt. And, obviously such a prestigious school like Mississippi State, they give you great work ethic. They give you everything you need to do to be the best version of yourself possible. How much has it been for you, a transition wise? Has it been difficult, or has it kind of been the same old on what you're doing and what you've been doing in college?
It's kind of similar, but at the same time it's different because it's strictly on my own. It's on me whether I'm going to get up and go get that lift at 8 a.m. and then go hit and get my running in and stuff like that. Whereas in college, if you don't go, then you're going to run, you're going to miss games, right? Stuff like that. So it's kind of you're a grown up now, 24 years old. So it's on me. It's on my own. So, yeah.
Without a doubt. And you've been able to play against college teams such as former opponents like Arkansas. What has it been like, including taking one of their aces, Jackson Wiggins? Cam, trust me, we got some comments coming for you too. We want to keep talking about you hitting guys' yards. But, you hit a 409-yard bomb against Jackson Wiggins. What's that like? What's that experience like, kind of knowing that you're just that guy? You got everybody's number.
It was pretty dope. We were on a week-long road trip. We played every single day for 5 days traveling, and this was our 3rd game. We went to Oklahoma State, then we played Oklahoma and drove to Arkansas and played them for 2 games. But I had a feeling we were going to face him, and I faced him in college 2 or 3 times. So, just going into it, I kind of already had a plan that had worked in the past. So going into it, it was just having a clear head and a plan and sticking to it.
Definitely. And, I know it's been a very short time. It hasn't been super long, but obviously, there's different levels from college to professional baseball. And right now, whether it be at first base or the outfield, is there anything you've learned in a short period of time? Has everything kind of been coming to you in waves of kind of things you're learning or things you're learning from other guys on the team?
It comes at different times, like there'll be a time where I'll go a full week and it'll just kind of be the same things. And then the next day I'll just get hit with a wave of stuff where I'm learning a whole bunch of things that I had no idea about, and more times than not, they're just smaller things. And, in pro ball, every single guy is good. So I think there's things that you need to pick and choose and learn from all these different guys, because they all have different stories and different backgrounds. So, and they got there just like we did, so if they did it a different way and it worked for them, then I'm open-minded to see what they have to offer.
Without a doubt. And Cam, for you, Jim sent me this clip and it was your view down in Florida and it was insane. It was insane. I mean, you was hitting a hanger banger down Broadway and it was just something. It was something special for sure. And I'm excited to see more of it. But for you, who have you been playing for? What have you been up to? And what's the offseason looking like as a whole?
So I was playing. So they sent most of our draft picks to Port Charlotte, Florida, which is our spring training facility, and so we were just playing down there at the rookie level. So they were taking us super slow. I think the first 2.5 weeks or so, I didn't play in the game. I didn't do anything, and I didn't practice until like the second week I was there. And then they started mixing us in some games. So I was just playing at that rookie league, and we were playing against, some of the other organizations, like played against the Twins. We played against the Braves, some of those type of teams. I think there was like maybe 4 or 5 teams. We played the Yankees. And then after that only lasted a couple weeks. And then we had an instructional league where we were just basically inter-squadding against each other through some guys in the organization, and then playing a game or two a week against the Twins. But that's actually when I hit the home run, was against the Twins at their place. But and then, since I got back, me and Logan Tanner, who was on that Mississippi State team as well, we have an apartment here in Nashville, and we're here because our agency's here. So they have a facility and a place where we work out and train during the whole off season. So my day is kind of similar to Hatch's. I wake up, get a lift in, get some running in, some sprints, wherever the day has for me, and then get some swings in.
Me and Hatch know that Cam spends 5 hours a day at the batting cage. Don't let him lie to you.
It's the humbleness. But you know what? He ain't slick with it. Because I hear him talking. I hear him talking his ish, and I'm really rocking with it, Cam. But Cam, kind of the same question I asked Josh, but really, your story has been so much more different. Where Josh is playing first base or the outfield, you've just kind of been a utility guy everywhere. I mean, you're playing shortstop, second base, third base, and I know in college you weren't afraid to play the outfield. What has that really been like for you at this stage? What have you been learning that's different? I'm sure it's insane right now.
Yeah, so I think the more versatile, the better. I think if I play in the big leagues, I don't care what position it's at. I mean, as long as I'm in the lineup, I want to play. So I don't care if it's second, short, third, center field, left field, just whatever I got to do to make it and to be on the field. And as far as learning from those guys and with the Rays, I was taking reps at second, short, and third. I don't think that they plan on me playing the outfield, but I could, at some point. But mainly it's reps at second, short, and third, which they're all different. So just learning, little things about each position, like shortstop, isn't as fast as third. So third, it's like you have to react. It's just straight reaction. The ball gets on you a lot quicker. Second base, you have more time. And then shortstop, you probably got to be better with your feet and getting the ball out of your glove into first base a lot quicker. So it's just learning from those coaches up there. They're really good. They work with a lot of high-level infielders. So just trying to kind of take in everything I can.
And Cam, before I hand it off to Jim, I do got a question for you. Are you taking advantage of being in the pros now? You're getting every single glove possible. How many third baseman gloves? How many shortstop gloves? How many are you asking for out here?
Well, whenever you get picked in the 16th round, I don't get all those glove deals. So
listen, we're gonna get them. It's gonna
Look,
come.
Mike, you'll actually know if you look at these boys in the SEC, especially when you win a national title, they get some sweet gloves.
That's why
They actually downgrade.
Exactly. That's why I was not about to take that answer, Cam, because I know damn well maybe it's 16th round Cam to Rays fans right now, but you will forever be a national champion. I promise you. You hit up any glove company in Mississippi right now, it's like that instantly.
Yeah. Right now I've just got two, but I've got two gloves with me right now, and then I think I have 2 or 3 from Mississippi State. But I've only have one brand new one since I signed that the Rays gave me.
And according to a Rays fanatic and one of their best beat reporters, DB says, according to the Rays, Cam could play all 9. Cam, is this true?
He can pitch. I don't care what he says. Don't let him lie to you. I watched this dude in high school dominate.
He can.
I could probably pitch, but I would rather play all 8 and leave the catching to those other guys.
Cam, you on the mound versus Hatch. What happens? What's the outcome? Feed it to me.
Well, he might hit a laser, to be honest with you, just because I haven't pitched in a while. I might throw him a 90-mile-an-hour heater that's flat as it can be, and he might take advantage of it.
Hatch, what I'm hearing is if he has a little bit of time to prepare, he's going to strike you out.
Now, if I have time to prepare it may be a good at bat.
Hey, what's crazy? Because I play with Cam and his brother, right? And I seen Keegan pitch, throw hundreds of innings, right? And I was messing around with Cam one day, and I was catching, and I told him to pitch. And dude, I've never seen a set of brothers who throw the exact same in my entire life. He threw one pitch, and I got out of there quick. It was so freaky.
Look, Mike, him pitching. Look, all the stuff that he does. Him pitching in high school is actually what made me a fan. Like, I went to a game. They should have never even started the game. I think it was Tupelo. I keep forgetting who.
Yes, Tupelo. It was Tupelo on a Saturday, and it was raining.
Yeah.
I was pitching against Hunter Elliott from Tupelo.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. So Ole Miss national champ. So anyway, Mike, the monsoon just starts. My man Cam is out there on the mound throw. I don't even know how you can throw in this. He ends up giving up 4 runs, right?
In the first
Mike, you know what he does? He goes back and gets all 4 himself. He hits multiple bombs, double, single. Like, I almost wish he would have canceled one of them bombs, hit a triple, got a cycle like Hatch would do, at Kennesaw. But, like, I mean, I was a fan after that. This man said, all right, I gave up 4 on me. Didn't blame when he came on our show, he didn't even use the rain as an excuse, Mike. He said it was on him. Went and got the runs back himself. Man, I was a fan forever. But I got to ask you, Cam, down there, obviously Jalen Battles being a guest of the show, a big-time guy from Arkansas, shortstop as well. Like, I mean, do you and him interact a lot, and do y'all talk, and are y'all working out together?
Yeah, I probably was around him the most just because every day that we were getting our work in, we were together, whether it was at shortstop, second, or third. He didn't really go to third. He was mostly in the middle infield, but there for the first little while, he's who I got all my reps with. So, yeah, I like him a lot. He's a really good player, and he's one of those guys that you want to go out there and work with because he's going to make you better, and you're going to make him better. And it's a good guy to work with.
Yeah, I got excited seeing y'all both go to the same team because I knew iron would sharpen iron, and I knew that y'all would make each other better. And as Daniel, was talking about being a Rays fan, like I just know how much emphasis they put on, the metrics and defensively and all that. And I knew that y'all would be good together. I do have a question because you mentioned to Mike the teams you played in that league. We actually had Eric Razelman on the show recently, and he was pitching in that league for the Yankees. Did you by chance face him?
No. So the Yankees, and I know this from talking to Jackson Fristow the other day, the Yankees guys that got drafted, they didn't play. They just had them in there working out. And I think the pitchers, maybe they were wanting their arms to rest a little bit. But like Fristow, he didn't throw at all. So I didn't even see either one of them when we played.
Gotcha.
Does that piss you off, Cam?
Well, Razelman is the LSU guy, so he wants to take him yard.
Oh, well, yeah. I think I did face him at when we played him this spring, and he's a really good arm. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Both guys, him and Fristow. So, can you hear the echo?
No, sir. That's just you. You're getting old, my guy.
Unplug my headphones.
You muted, Jim.
StreamYard. I'm not used to this. We be doing Zoom. For all those watching, rookie mistake. Anyway, Josh. All right, let's get back to the foes portion. This is actually complimentary, but you're going to have to pick against other guys. If you could pick one guy off that team to be the first one to make it to the bigs, who you putting your money on?
Don't cheat me, Josh. Don't cheat me, Josh.
Like who would I want personally?
No, who do you think? Well, you can give me both, but who do you think it will be?
I got my answer right now, so just in case it's the same, I'm telling you I have mine right now.
Cam, write it down right now.
Cam, go ahead and say it. If Josh got his
Go ahead and say it.
I was going to say Landon Sims just because bullpen guys, I think that they're going to use him in the bullpen. And I know he's coming off of Tommy John right now, but I think when he gets healthy, I don't think it'll take him long to get in the big league bullpen just because his stuff is that good.
Josh, you going to stick with that same answer or you going to switch it up? Give me somebody different.
No, we're going to flip-flop. I'm going to go probably Will Bednar this time.
So same answers, but opposite from the last time.
Yeah.
But you asked who you would want. So there's obviously somebody that you're rooting for to be the next guy. Who is that?
I mean, who I would want to would either be like Cam or Logan or Sims, because those are kind of still the guys that I keep in touch with a lot on a daily basis from that team. So those are my boys. So
if Kamren doesn't say Logan, I think he's in trouble because that's his roommate. So would that be your answer, Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a safe answer. That's the guy you live with. So,
I want everybody to make it quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to ask you a question about the team you just left. Got a lot of Mississippi State people that are tuning in. Of the guys that you played with that return, we got Hancock, Cade Smith, Casey Hunt, Kellen Clark, Hunter Hines, et cetera. You can go down the list. Who do you expect the most from, this season at State? Obviously, all those guys, a lot of expectations, but who do you think is the guy who's going to stand out the most?
Probably from just a straight, talent standpoint, I think Hunter Hines is one of the best hitters I've ever watched. So I think that he could have a really, really, really big year just because I think he's incredibly gifted, special hitter. I wouldn't be shocked if he hits, 16 or 17 or more home runs. I think he'll probably.
He came on off the bench and said 25 is the goal.
Well, that's cool. I'm going to play it safe and say, I think he'll hit. I wouldn't be shocked if he hits over, closer to 20, but I think he's going to hit, over 300 again. I just think he's a really good player and he's going to be fun to watch.
No, Mike, you don't even understand. This guy came on, Cam. Look, he batted 477 in high school, and Randy asked him, obviously he met expectations, and he said, no, he didn't. He said his goal was to bat over 500. And I was like, well, my God. And then later we talk about the upcoming Mississippi State season, and he said it's 25 or more home runs or bust. I'm like, this guy's expectation level, the bar he sets, I mean.
All I know is I need that on a T-shirt, man. Cam said, that's cool. I mean, that's just the realest answer, man.
I mean, no, I wouldn't be shocked if he did that just because he's one of the best hitters I've watched, especially him being a true freshman last year. It was unreal. I think he hit how many did he hit last year? 16, 17?
I think 17, yeah.
He hit 300 and with 17 homers as a true freshman. So, I think I wouldn't be shocked if he hit 25. He's capable for sure.
Obviously, Hatch, you didn't play with Hunter, but obviously you played with all those other guys that I'd mentioned, so obviously I would expect you to have a different answer. Who do you expect the most from?
I would say Kellen Clark.
And I think, when you talk to the Mississippi State fan base and you get a pulse, that's the guy that they want. That's the guy that they're looking for to break out. I think they kind of expected it to happen last year. Kellen will tell you himself it didn't. And so that's who I would expect. I think Cade Smith's going to be, the Friday night guy, and I expect him to be electric. They just brought out the top 100 prospects list, MLB prospects list today. I think he was like number 56. So obviously big expectations on him. So, I'll end with this and let Mike close with y'all. Hatcher, like for the Rangers, like, you know, we asked on the first episode with Trey Lipscomb and Connor Pavoloni, you know, did they have an expectation level of, you know, trying to move up to a certain level next year, or are they just taking it day by day and whatever happens? Do you have like, I mean, you know, whether it's, you know, double A or, you know, something like that, do you have anything like that, or is it the same thing for you?
I mean, obviously I have goals in mind, but this past year, with it being my first like short season and going and playing high A, just getting thrown into it, which is something that I wanted to do. Like I wanted that to happen. And I knew I was going to have success and I knew I was going to struggle. And I did both of those things in high A. And, but I mean, I'm just ready to get at it again. It's a really long season. It's a lot more games than I've ever played. You know, I think this past season, ending up in Hattiesburg, I think I played 65, 67 games, and I'll play at least 60 more than that total, right? So I think just going to the park and trying to take little things and little wins every single day, because I mean, like I said, it's a long season. I've never played that long before in a full season, so having my expectations and my goals in mind, but also having these little wins and stuff that you take from each day you show up.
Yeah, no doubt. And I actually got to ask you this question. It's kind of going back earlier. I almost forgot about it. I had 3 different people on Twitter ask the same question about you, and they asked in a complimentary way. They've said what I've said to you before. I mean, I thought you were easily the best defensive first baseman in the SEC. So
Talk to him.
They asked why, when you went to Kennesaw, did you end up in the outfield?
So when I got to Kennesaw, the main thing was for me to play as good as possible to get drafted, right? So moving from first base to center field and being able to run as well as I do, and like being a very good defensive player, there's the professional baseball aspect of things are starting to value that a lot more than they used to. So just being a first baseman over there wasn't really going to cut it, even though I was really good at it. Right. And I still am. And I mean, I still work over there, and I think I'll play a little bit more first base than outfield this year. I mean, you never know, but that's what I think. But it was kind of just a thing just to get me out there in terms of, hey, he can play center field, one of the most premium positions in baseball. He can hit leadoff, he can really run. So it was just a thing that our head coach, shout out to him, wanted to push on me and push on professional baseball.
Just only if you were as fast as Kamren, right? Because I know who wins that race, right? Kamren, that's you.
Yeah, probably. Just look at the stolen bases.
Hey, but before I move on to Cam, Josh, as a matter of fact, Greg James told me to text you to say hello. But you know, Cam, final question with that same thing. And I know you, and I know how you work just through all the conversations we have. You're going to work as hard. It's a day by day, but do you have an expectation of where you would like to try to get in this first year?
You know, I really don't, just because it's almost like I don't know. I don't know what to expect, because I didn't get to go play at an affiliate yet. So, you know, I'm really not sure where they're going to start me out. So I think for me, it's just I'm going to just try to play as well as I can wherever they put me, and then just move up as fast as I can from there. You know, we have a really good system. So, and that's not a political answer. That's just, I haven't been able to play at an affiliate yet. So I'm not really sure kind of, you know, what that's going to look like.
Well, and me and Mike, you know, obviously we talked to the guys last week, and we've had some guys on and off the bench. Every organization is different. Some of them got thrown right into the fire, and then some got held like y'all. So, I mean, to each organization, it's different. It just depends on who you got drafted by.
I'll tell you this though, Cam is an interesting cat. Like I need more Cam in my life. I need Cam on the show more. Josh is a cool dude. Josh, you're good people, but Cam, I don't know how I feel about you, man. I don't know, because see, you give these political answers, and then you give these off the gate answers where you're like, I'm smacking home runs against every first round pick.
Look, let me tell you, Mike. So we've had everybody in his family on. His dad was an athlete. His sister, who's actually the best pitcher of the three of them,
that's where it comes from, huh?
Right. And you know, his cousin is Austin Riley. His uncle played for Mississippi State. All this. When we asked Kamren who was the best athlete in his family, there was no hesitation. He said me. It came right off. So let me tell you.
He said Austin got 300, I get 500. Watch this. That's what it is. That's just what it is. But guys, we do appreciate you guys coming on the show. Really quickly, I know I didn't get a chance to remind you guys before. We got some weather technical difficulties backstage going on. But for you guys right now, if you have anything going on, whether it's baseball signings or whether you have anything you're doing with a charity or even just promoting your Instagram and social media platforms, can you guys just pump those out for everybody? Anything you guys got going on?
I don't have anything really going on, but I think every social media platform I got is just Kamren James 16. And then if they want to keep up with me, they can get it, from that.
How about you, Josh?
Yeah, my Instagram is my name right here in front of my little face in the corner. And then, I don't really do too much on Twitter. I just observe. I sit in the back and observe. But
as you should. Twitter.
Oh no, hey, my guy is strategic. I have watched when he doesn't observe. He waits till the last second to jump into something at the right time.
Oh my
God. Stir it up a little bit, ease off a little bit. Whatever.
Without a doubt. But fellas, we appreciate you coming on. We wish you guys the best of luck. This is Kamren James and obviously the Hatch, Josh Hatcher. We appreciate you guys coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
With that being said, Jim, how did you feel about these guys? What do you think the expectations of them, in your personal opinion, moving forward? Are we talking big leaguers within the next 2 years?
I firmly believe that actually they can, because I'm not saying this because I know them so well. I'm not saying this because they're the audience is listening. The work ethic of these two guys is unrivaled by a lot. I made the joke about Kamren and the batting cage, but you notice Josh laughed because that was actually serious. My guy puts in time. Josh, the same. So right now, it's supposed to be their off season. I've been talking to both of them. That's why we had to schedule this on a Tuesday night. There isn't an off season for these two. They are working on their craft nonstop. They both take care of their bodies. They stay in shape. And so I believe they both can. And the idea that they both told us that they're willing to play whatever position is called upon is just another reason why I think they'll be able to do it, because they'll do whatever is asked. Because, there's a lot of guys that have too much pride or ego, Mike, that, they won't do that. But you can, wherever it takes.
100%. I think these two guys, like I said earlier, you come from somewhere like Mississippi State. I mean, it just embodies guys like that. And they don't need to make guys like that. They come in the system already ready. Purebred athletes. Obviously, the Austin Riley tree is growing. But it's going to be a lot of fun, man. And we are always going to be here. Obviously, schedules may vary, so definitely follow Jim Cross. Jim, pump out really quick where everybody can follow you and in Off the Bench podcast to let everybody know when we're going live on Pros and Joes.
Yeah, so obviously it's Jim Cross on Facebook. On Instagram, it's jcross2146. Yeah, we're gonna. I think the next one, man, it's either gonna be LSU or Ole Miss. So we're gonna keep it within the SEC. We got a lot of these guys committed. They're excited about the idea of what we're doing. And I've got them paired with guys strategically. So it's fun, Mike. And then just to end off the bench plug, tomorrow's a really cool one, Mike. And I know you've been rooting for these Tennessee guys. So Chase Dolander, SEC Pitcher of the Year. But also Zane Denton, who when he came on our show, played for Alabama, a first-team All-SEC guy, now over at Tennessee. We're going to talk to him about what it's like to be a part of that culture, play for Tony V, play with Dolander. And so that's going to be a cool thing. Obviously, big expectations for Tennessee. So that's going to be our episode tomorrow. But I'm hoping that we'll have either the LSU or the Ole Miss one. But, man, stay tuned, everyone, because like I said, we've had 15 duos, Mike, and one trio commit to doing this. So, hey, friends or foes is fixing to be jumping off. It's going to be a great season.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys can always find me, Mike on the Mic podcast, or on TheShy.Kid, The Shy Kid on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me at Mike Hughes, but I wouldn't, because I'd be starting a lot of issues with a lot of people on Facebook. I don't even be, Jim, I ain't even trying to go off topic, but damn, brother. I said one thing earlier. I had to delete the whole thread. I said, it's a Carter 4 type of morning. I was just bumping Carter 4 on the way to school. And lo and behold,
controversy.
Brother, I got 59 comments at 9 a.m. about Joe Biden. And I was like, I'm talking about Wheezy. I'm talking about President Carter. And y'all talking about the government. I didn't know what happened. Anytime I post anything, it just turns into a whole different thing.
So the reality is, Mike, me and you both have social media for the same reason. We promote sports, our platforms, and everything else. Unfortunately, with that, we have to deal with everything else. Because if I could erase all my social medias, I would. Because it's stuff you got to deal with all day. It's unnecessary. Get you irritated for no reason. But unfortunately, if we want people to hear our shows, if we want people to know about the athletes, we got to have it.
100%. But it was an amazing episode with two future pros that are definitely Joes. We are going to be out of here. We are going to be back. Follow Jim Cross and Mike Hughes on all social media platforms, or the All Sports All Plays Network to find out when we will be live next. Going to be super exciting. Ole Miss or LSU, you got to stay tuned. This has been Mike Hughes and Jim Cross from the All Sports All Plays Network. Pros and Joes this season. Love it. Friends versus foes. See you guys next time. Peace.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.